morning, Wise Solace speaking. Giving you all a chance to get in here. First person that makes it in, please let me know if I'm clear. Like I said, I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. Deep jewels as always. First person in, please let me know if I'm clear. Peace and wisdom, Aaron Williams, Sir Jones. Hopefully everyone's in good spirits. Hopefully this outer noise doesn't interfere with the message. Now give me a moment. I like to enjoy the silence out here. Of course, there's no such thing except in unconsciousness. That is the nothingness and the silence that we have word and description for. But in regards to what we call silence and nothing, well, no man have yet to, discover this silence or nothing. It's like I always say, nothing in silence is being prepared. Of course, we do experience this preparation in unconsciousness. So that's the nothingness and the silence that we have word and description for. But the silence I speak of, it has to do with the nature. I'm speaking man being silent, boats, cars, and just enjoy the sounds of nature. Natural sound. It's like silence, when one is lost in Babylon. Now, if you guys have any questions, ask. Stay focused on coming here for what you came for. Most of you guys started out seeking wisdom. I'm assuming wisdom is why you came here. And so keep the mind focused on what you came here for. Many people are coming and they're getting lost in their own ego. And they're speaking this ego out onto me. It's like I say, most people, when they broken up, they are the accusations that they spew out. Now, ego's no tricky matter. There's no complex discussion. Ego is simple. It's a matter of authority, a matter of status. We're speaking in reality now. The child has more authority. I'm sorry. The parent has more authority than the child. Someone far more older than you, they have an authority in life and perspective than you. Your boss has an authority if you're the worker. See, it's simple. This is the orders of life. Ego is when you are the lesser thing and you lose your own perspective. And so a lot of you guys, you're seeking to find something I do to label that as ego. So you make a point you never had. And so you take the deep, simple lesson I just gave you on ego, don't overlook it, apply it to self. Therefore, when you get other lessons on ego, you can stack them on top of each other, start making sense for yourself. That way you don't have to come here as a lesser mind, where you start to lie on your back. And because you're lying on your back, you're viewing my being further along than you are as my being above you. There's no glory for yourself in proving that someone thinks they are better than you. And a lot of you have a mental and emotional poverty that overcomes you, where you don't realize these things. And so a lot of you guys are trying to make a point with me. That point being that I think I'm better than you. But that's no point that you should want to make. You have to have a mind to see how impoverished that is when you're trying to make an argument that one thinks they're better than you. That should have already been said to you. Even if it was said to you, it's not something you should accept or view as something you have to, you get it? Make a point against. A lot of you guys have a poverty. We're speaking mentally and emotionally. And so you kind of have this perspective when you get low in your emotions. You know, this is the envies, the angers, the bitterness, the lower emotional states. You look to make points that put you in the lower state. So if you prove that I think I'm better than you, then what? You prove that I think I'm better than you? That means I think you're beneath me. Nothing in that has to do with you coming out on top of anything. It's rather stupid when you consider it. If you come in for wisdom, this is wisdom. I'm giving you wisdom. You're so distorted in your perspective of me that you think my words is an attack against you. So I always say, move along. Once a person got to tell you about your etiquette, manners, things you should have learned at 4, 5, 6 years old, things that you did learn at 4, 5, 6 years old, but somehow you're lost into your lower state. And you forget these things. It's best to move on, even if you get them after, because it should have never been I should have never had to say it to you to begin with. Peace and wisdom, Abderrahman Bari. And so you start there when you're making accusations of one having ego. If that's the childish route in life you choose to take, Simple thing to grasp. If you choose to leave your mind childish, because some of you guys think that is the way y'all blurt it out so proudly, it makes me wonder how dumb y'all truly are. Y'all blurt it out as if y'all gonna prove somebody's a murderer. You get it? There's no result in saying one has ego. I'm not sure why y'all don't. I'm not laughing at y'all. I'm trying to do this as clear as possible. I'm not sure why some of y'all think some of y'all parade it around like it's, you get it? I don't know how that happened. But like I said, when you get lost into your lesser self, you start trying to prove and manifest out this lesser. Y'all are coming to receive wisdom, getting that wisdom. How do you come off with a problem, but do not see yourself as, I have extreme emotional and mental problems that I may need to deal with? Because I'm sure these mental and emotional problems I have are carrying over way beyond solace. This message is for y'all, not for me. I don't deal with y'all in real life. I wouldn't. I ain't gonna hold you. But I'm sure y'all do have little strings of people lingering around y'all. And there's no way you about to tell me y'all don't have, you get it? These same simple-minded ideals based on y'all low emotions and dragging them out on them. Some of y'all have kids, pushing this lesser mindset on them. It's a poverty. It's like saying if you don't measure up to someone, don't go put in work. If that's what you desire to be, you know, of equal measure to them. It's like saying don't go put in no work and strengthen yourself and be better. It's almost like telling a kid, well, you can always just say someone has ego and play narrative games and see if you can manipulate other people to think it. And you get my point? I'm grown. It's like y'all are waiting for this great response to it. My response is gonna always be you should move along. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you didn't come to that conclusion your own self if you the one complaining and got the problem. If you got a problem with me, why I gotta tell you to move along if your problem is sincere? Like that. Some of y'all are disturbed because you wish to skip over things like envy. Things like some of y'all are really weak-minded, and so you're easily manipulated and influenced to view people however other people want you to view them. Some of y'all are just bitter and angry in your life, and so you overlook points when they're made to you to continue to make a point that you don't have. And this is the root of your grief. Meaning when you come here, you're grieved out. That's the root of it. Because you overlooked the point when it was made to you. Now you're seeking out to make your point, but there is no point. And so kind of grasp. When you speak over points after they're made, this is like lie. Lie is a cancer. It'll cause one grief. And so a lot of y'all need to grasp that. Whatever point you want to make to me that I have ego, I'm not overlooking what you say. I'm overlooking the whole topic is petty. We're not third graders in school. You hit some of y'all getting so lost in the back and forth, you keep skipping over that. If what your complaint is petty, I'm not. Say, Solace, I don't like how you lick your lips. Okay, I heard you. But now when you expecting me to oblige to what you said, this is where you're losing yourself. You can be heard out. If what you're saying is petty and truly makes no difference, however you slice it, then why would you think, you get my point? That I care. Meaning if I'm teaching you and I've already shown you the one with ego, I'm the teacher, you came as the student, now you telling me what to do, what to teach. This is when you lost your perspective of the order. You know that order that I explained to y'all in the beginning? Parent, child, boss, worker. If someone's teaching you and you're the student, how do you not come to a conclusion that you have an ego? When you're bickering to them that they have an ego, them teaching you and your whole experience has nothing to do with whatever you're talking about. The things y'all talking about fall into experiences that have to do with competition. Now, it's beautiful a lot of y'all are competing with me, but you can't overlook my perspective, which is I only know in reality y'all all supposedly came here to get wisdom. My name is Wise Solace. Y'all know me as Wise, nothing else. You get it? There's no, oh, he used to be a rapper, now he's wise. You get it? You only know me for this, nothing else. So, how do you come for wisdom, leave disturbed, and your problem is, he said he's wise. That's ego. Now, again, I'm grown, so I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't care if one has an ego or not. They're not going to have it on me, so I really have no clue what y'all be talking about. I just hear envy. The same thing I would tell y'all children. If you're great at something, and instead of people challenging you, they're telling you, like, don't say you're wise, don't do this, don't slam dunk it on me. You got to just be strong and know you great, and you got low people in life, you feel me? And so for those of y'all, you know, because everybody get their, I don't want to call it hate. I don't know what to call it. I think y'all a little slow, meaning you're not getting any results out of whatever y'all doing. So get it together. Overall, you know, kind of move along. That's my main point. All I can do is reiterate that to any of y'all that have a brain, you know? I'm teaching, I'm doing me. I've insulted no one. If you follow a certain teachings and you feel insulted, like I said, I haven't insulted anyone. I teach. And I teach a self-perfection. Of course, you see everyone, you know, well, not everyone, but the small few that are. You get it? They disturbed by that perfection I reflect. Speaking mind-wise, emotional state-wise, and outer appearance as well. And so that's what I teach. It all starts with balance, being fair, and honesty. And this honesty starts with the self. Now, if you came for wisdom and somehow you got a problem, it's best you depart. I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings. A lot of y'all get lost into that. Your feelings have been hurt. I'm saying it because it's a real thing. Now, please give me a moment. I have to tinkle. Peace and wisdom, Corel Marvin. I was just reading what you said. You said people prefer you expressing your faults and negative thoughts on yourself rather than self-love, achievements, so that they feel better. Yeah, I understand these things. It's not my not hearing y'all and grasping anything y'all saying. What I'm saying is y'all have become so envy-filled and low, y'all are not hearing anything being said to y'all. And so when you're expressing to me, hey, brother, don't sweat it, man. People just rather, you express your faults and negative thoughts on yourself instead of you speaking positive of yourself. My videos are 3 hours long. There is no time in my video when I'm truly speaking of myself, unless I'm purposely fucking with y'all. It's crystal clear when I'm purposely fucking with y'all, but the point I'm making is, you see how y'all get lost on narratives? Now you're explaining to me like, they're lost because you're expressing self-love and they rather hear you speak self-hate, and I'm not somebody that speaks on myself. These are stupid narratives y'all made up to make a point that I have some ego. Even though you here getting wisdom for free, trying to boss somebody around, meaning some of y'all are completely, it's sad. Like, I truly hope some of y'all get it together, It has nothing to do with me, meaning a lot of y'all, in your brain, we have a whole relationship. So when I'm saying what I'm saying, you taking, whatever I say, you taking it as a me and you thing. If I say be balanced and honor in your brain, you think I'm talking about you giving back here. I don't even know why you here. But I'm talking about in your life. I don't have nothing to do with none of y'all lives. I would not deal with half of y'all. Why would you think I would if you've been watching? Y'all ain't got good manners. Y'all don't have good etiquette. Y'all trying to make a point people disrespectful by being disrespectful. You get it? Like that, y'all getting a little scramble-minded and y'all getting lost on y'all agendas, which be these points y'all want to make. Points y'all never had. You get it? And then y'all start to carry on beyond where you can be reached anymore. Then you're taking offense if somebody tell you, I think it's time you move along, You good, Corel Marvin. I know you wasn't saying anything negative. You get it? Y'all are kind of like broken eggshells at this point. But it's a result of how y'all been carrying it here. But overall, all I was saying is if you got a brain and you familiar with my channel, the brain should never go into, oh, he's talking about himself all the time. My videos are always me breaking down a specific scholarship, morals and etiquette of some sort, like now. If your brain is lost and you're desperate to make a point that I have an ego, so you can say that this video is about me talking about myself. Y'all like that. Y'all say anything, it doesn't even make sense anymore. It's clear where I'm trying to figure out why y'all don't see whatever y'all saying is falling into envy and you just disturbed. I'm grown. You're not gonna never make a point to me. You have ego because you said you wise. Cause a person say they wise. Huh? Meaning y'all comments are becoming like that, where it's like, huh? You throwing tissue at the ceiling hoping it stick? What we doing? Now I know there's some good ones of y'all out there. And I know there's some of y'all out there that say, man, why are you wasting your time talking to these lessers, man, if they don't get it? And they want to keep saying whatever they say, let them say it. Overall, what I'm saying has nothing to do with them. It has to do with y'all that still have the actions of them, of those blurting out all these problems they have. You follow? Meaning you have those of y'all that come here, you have a negative perspective of me, and you like to blurt it out, and you think it's a justification of for you not having honor, respect, and things like this yourself. Then there's others of y'all, you hold a negative perspective too, but I guess you assume if you linger around silently, this makes some difference. And so I'm mostly speaking to those of y'all that fit that shoe. You like the one complaining after the point is made to them, and now you just lingering. You're not no different from them. A lot of y'all are not aware of yourself, so you think when I'm speaking to this person. Look at yourself. If you come here and you do not give back, and you have any excuse for it, please move on. I don't know why that's so hard to grasp. Whatever I say, it falls into wisdom and etiquette that has to do with life. If you're young, you have to be balanced in this life. You have to be fair. People share with you, whatever it may be, you have to share back with them. You have to have respect, good etiquette, things like this. When y'all are pumping all this dumb talk to manipulate y'all own ways, y'all are not looking at how it affects the generations to come. Why y'all so desperate to tear me down and convince people that they shouldn't give back, you're just promoting stupidity to the younger generation who already got a brain to know. A lot of the younger people gave back. A lot of y'all are old in here and you didn't. Again, the younger start off good and they slowly over time get manipulated and influenced into evils. And so while a lot of y'all are old, getting lost into your lower emotions, pushing agendas and things just because you want to tear others down, you need to consider, the after effects, because we all have to live those after effects. Now, when a person is working a job and the job feel like, man, I don't want to pay people what they deserve to get. I'm trying to pay them whatever I could give them. Don't complain so much. You fall on that side of things. And so overall, if you have a negative perspective of me, whether you speak on it or you don't, and you just linger in silence, can you please move along, because you're messing it up for all the millions of people who have not come along and they ain't do nothing to you. So, and whatever imaginary problem you have with me, at some point maybe you'll realize this is in your head. From my reality, you guys come here for wisdom, that's all fine. If at any moment you have a problem, you don't have to feel like I'm blowing you off. I don't see how you can have a problem if you're receiving from me and you not giving nothing. I'm just not gonna ever see where you have an argument. I don't see how does the brain get that tangled up where you think you do. Nothing. I don't understand it and I don't seek to. I just rather you move along. But if you someone that have a negative perspective of me, whether you speak on it or you don't, can you please move along? If you feel like why do I have to control your perspective? I don't want to control your perspective. If your perspective of me is negative, why would you think I want anything to do with you? Make it make sense. Say, Silas, I don't like you because this, that, and I don't know nothing you talking about. I just know you come get wisdom from me. Why would I want to deal with you after that? For what? That part. Y'all have no point. This is why y'all have no resolve in mind. Meaning y'all have a lot of complaints. But if I ask y'all, what's the resolve for this complaint? Say I have ego. Okay, what do you want? What's the resolve that's going to make you feel better? Most of y'all haven't thought of that. Because it has nothing to do with the actual problem. You're just the problem. But overall, move along. That's what I meant to title this video, Move along. A lot of y'all like to skip over these videos. These are the jewels that y'all need to get before y'all go seek out wisdom, or at least come get it from me. If you feel like wise, or someone saying they're the wisest, is ego. If you feel like that's ego, you don't need to look for a response from me. Whatever you want to feel about anything in life, you can. I've been wise, Silas. That's how you heard of me. You didn't have a problem with wise then. And so however you magically have one now, maybe you can use that to get the point that you just lost your way. You say everybody can't be the wisest. There's a thing called a school, your neighborhood, anywhere you want. You'll become aware that there's a smartest kid in the class, there's a smartest person in your neighborhood, and then there's everything that falls in between, that smartest and the dumbest thing you can think of. And this is just the realities of life. And so if you think that magically stops in life because you want to make a point, he can't be the wisest, then I don't know what you smoke. All I could do is tell a lot of y'all snap into reality. It's beautiful you think you have a point. It's beautiful you get lost in your own head, then there's still reality. I try to keep my mind wrapped on reality. And so, maybe that helps some of y'all, I'm not sure. My name is Wise Silas. More than likely, when you came here, whether it was when I first started or whatever, that been the name. That was never a complaint that I remember. Many of y'all said I was the wisest before I ever said anything. This is before I even, Decided to teach y'all. There was no YouTube channel or nothing. Maybe you coming along late, you know none of this. But there's your there's your assessment. All the ducks. And so there's nothing wrong with someone saying they're wise if they are. In regards to my saying I'm the wisest, anybody that's wise, if you feel like you don't like it, you can step up and prove whatever point you think you have. Now, if you step up, when you lose, don't get disturbed and carry on like a kid like many others before you. Because I didn't tell you to step up. You're supposed to be mature, have control over your emotional state, to where when you hear truths, no matter who it's coming from, if you wise, you don't have favorites and all that weird stuff to even fall into. So, you get my point? Your emotional state should never get intertwined where you're like trying to speak over truths. Now, if you've ever heard me explain something to go deep on things, it's not far-fetched that I'm the wisest man alive. I don't see why would anyone think that I'm not. But if you do, so your mind is your own. And so if you come here and you're silent and you carry it like those who have all the complaints, meaning you don't give back, you just linger silent, you're like them to me. Special, move along. Those of you that don't have any issues, especially become a channel member, go to my website, join one of them pricing plans so you can continue to get your wisdom without, simple-mindedness and disgruntled behavior interfering. And so hopefully you guys grasp. I know a lot of y'all are disturbed. You think you my enemy and I'm yours back. And you truly are lesser than me. I don't want to hurt your feelings. You can put that part in ego. I don't view it as ego. Once you go low, that's just where you at. I don't want to hold you. Get it? Some of y'all think y'all could go low and a nigga still gotta be like, no, we equal. If you a fucking liar, you not equal to people that tell the truth to me, and I hate that you would think you are. If you a low-life motherfucker that do low-life shit and you think in your brain, we all equal. No, we ain't. You need to get your brain together. And this is where the voice get raised a little bit. Because I shouldn't have to say that. And so a lot of y'all need to fix your perspective. You got a whole scrambled... It make me, worried for the kids the way some of y'all think. It get to that point where you like, okay, where's this stupidness going? And so if you young, we not all equal. You make sure you solid and upright in your ways. And that's what make you equal to any great thing in this life. And if your ass running around here doing dishonorable shit, trying to get shortcuts or whatever the case may be, you never lose sight that you not equal to somebody with honor. And you work your way towards that or something, but pumping that y'all equal, get real. When you was getting raised, if you failed and your sibling passed, your ass was not equal to your sibling until the next quarter came up and you got and you got your act together. Why would your parent make you equal to your sibling? You fail and they ain't. It ain't no aspect in life where you falling short and people just, you get it? Get that out the mind. This is what's making for low lifeness. This is what's making y'all think low lifeness is good. It's not. You come here for wisdom and you started off early and you took offense when I said y'all need to give back. You have to have a mind to know if you're teaching someone or helping them in any way and then you ask them for something and they have a problem assisting you back or just being fair with you, you got to know it's over right in that moment. Meaning if you was coming here getting wisdom and you had a problem with me getting a donation, a tithe, being paid, and you're like, oh no, he supposed to teach for free. Keep in mind, you getting wisdom from me. You purchasing all kind of things that work against you. You got all kind of evils out here. I would expect you would be the main one to say, hold on, my teacher need to get something. You get it? Meaning I expect all of y'all that learn from me to at least want the best from me. And when you show that that's not the reality, and I'm already knowing you go to the movies, you spend money on a whole bunch of dumbass shit that dumb you out. And it ain't my business. But you got a problem with my assisting you, but you got the perspective that I shouldn't get nothing. They have to make a person wonder, like, what is the point on helping them if their perspective is whoever helped me, that's charity. And whoever robbed me or tricked me, they deserve that. Otherwise, you tell me, what am I supposed to take out of that? Because a lot of y'all was coming to get wisdom, you still do, but when it comes time to you to give back, you become a part of the he scamming, he not supposed to get paid for wisdom. How I'm helping you when you got that perspective for me? And you don't think I'm going to be a little disturbed where I'm like, okay. They a little evil in their ways and perspective. Because if somebody teaching me, they the first person I'm going to be like, nah, let them get this. Because, I mean, y'all got teachers in jail right now for rape and all kind of shit. A lot of y'all have been scammed. Forget Caesar and Envy and all these people. A lot of y'all been scammed where you gave a large donation to someone. You follow? And the wisdom ain't paying out right. They done passed on their way, and you get it? I've been here a while. If there was any, you get it? Unjust ways about myself, it would have already happened. And none of y'all have that experience to say, I gave this and that part. Nobody. I'm 1,000,000% sure of it. And so if you ain't giving back, I don't expect you to get on the train where you speaking against me receiving. That's when you get it? And this is where a lot of y'all are. When niggas is throwing around these false narratives, you hear it, you not saying nothing. But you learn from me. And so y'all have no morals. This is important. This is not something when you come to realize you don't measure up to what's being said, now you taking offense. If you don't have morals, you offend someone. A lot of y'all get lost in the taking offense, you don't get the point. If you trying to make a point to me, but you really don't have a point, the point was already made to you. That's one offense right there. Meaning you're having a false accusation or the wrong perspective is offensive in itself. When you consider your behavior and the malicious things you may have done during the time you thought you were right and had a point, that's when it becomes abuse. That's when it becomes, even when you do get the point, the problem with you isn't that you didn't get the point and you was wrong in your perspective. The point now is all the things that you have done in between that time. And this is where most of y'all measure up to. And that's not just a message for those of y'all that follow for wisdom. That's a message for, like, if I know you in real life too. Meaning a lot of y'all do these things in real life. If you somebody viewing, you probably do these things to people you know in real life. Y'all think y'all have a point. And then y'all start to carry it in an ugly way, treating a person a certain way because you think you have a point. You're not taking account of anything you're doing while you think you have this point. According to you, however you carrying on is justified because they're not getting your point. Now, you're not getting their point either, but you get my point? I don't think you see it like that in reverse, where they could do you any your kind of way and deal with you any your kind of way because you not taking in their point. But this is what happens when one gets lost in their ego, their selfishness. They think they have a point. You think you got one too, but whatever point you got's irrelevant according to them. They could carry on, act a whole fool, do malicious acts against you because they think they have a point. Now, when a person like that come to realize you never had no point, you just so selfish, you think you got a point. In their brain, they figure, okay, that's it. Well, I got the point now, everything's good. No, everything's not good. You're not getting the point is not the wrong that anyone cares about after that. It's all the actions that carried on after that. These being the things most people ain't built to fix. And so that's why I say move along. It's cool if you have a negative perspective of me, as long as you ain't letting that negative perspective interfere with you being low. You need an example? I don't mind if you think I have ego. But when you think my having ego or anyone in life having ego is an excuse for you to be low, unfair in your ways, a liar, or anything, you lost me. There should be nothing to make you go against your honor unless you just dishonorable and you desperate too. Yeah, that part. What do me having ego have anything to do with you paying your tithes, being honorable in your ways? What? Nothing. And so a lot of y'all need to start there. Wisdom is for the honorable and the fair, the strong. It ain't for those that's all broken down, trying to make points that truly ain't points to be made. And so hopefully a lot of y'all get it. Y'all don't view this as a ramble. This is important. Meaning this is something that y'all should have learned before y'all got wisdom. But this is not something that I need to be doing for y'all. This is something y'all parents should have did for y'all when y'all was young. Simple etiquette, simple manners. A lot of y'all need to learn those things, the fundamentals, basic manners, basic etiquette, and then start from there in your seeking wisdom. Because seeking wisdom under the impoverished mindset, emotional set you have, you're not never going to get no wisdom. You're just going to get a lot of arguments, which is what most of you guys have. You have a history of, you have a problem with a bunch of teachers, and you get it? You carrying on about every teacher that ever teached. It's never dawning on you, damn, I keep having a problem with every goddamn teacher. So hopefully some of you guys grasp these jewels. If I'm your teacher, you got to trust my mind. It's that simple. If I'm telling you, you got to give back and you got to be fair and balanced in your ways, not just here, but everywhere. And if you ain't right now, you got to work on that. If you want to challenge that, I'm not going to argue. You just need to go on your way. Otherwise, you got to trust my mind. You've been given enough Jews here to know that I do have a higher perspective. And it ain't unjust in any way. So it's nothing to argue about. Yeah, there's going to be things in life you don't want to do that you're supposed to, though. And so that's my point. You can't have your mind lost into your selfish nature. Otherwise, every time you don't want to do something, then you're going to create a situation where you don't have to. And this is creating a whole nother problem. You get my point? This is creating a whole nother problem just so you can avoid something or doing something that truly wasn't a problem to begin with. And so hopefully a lot of y'all are hearing what I'm saying. And you're not too broken down in your emotional state, but you actually hearing what I'm saying, seeing the error in your ways and making those adjustments. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cease teaching y'all. And that's a real thing. And so y'all ain't got that much time, you know? Y'all kind of... Y'all showing the worst of yourselves. So just keep that in mind. It's good that y'all like to look at other people, but at some point you got to look at self. That's what you're supposed to be looking at anyway. And so just keep in mind, y'all haven't shown, you know, good behavior, good etiquette in my dealings with y'all. So if you still feel like you got some kind of point, you still hanging around here, not giving back, paying your tithes, this is not a big discussion. It's not even an important thing in regards to an argument. It should be something you want to do on your own. I don't know how y'all get broken down to that point where somebody helping you and you think it's your job to go against them. If I ask 99% of y'all, you think if you needed some help and I had it, I wouldn't help you if I could? Most of y'all would say you probably would help. So then why you doing that? Some of y'all say, man, he dumb for still teaching them. So then you fully are aware that I'm a good person. So why you doing that? Like that. Y'all got to get y'all brain together. It's getting disgusting. And so like I said, I'm going to have to cease teaching some of y'all. You too low. Either you've been hurt or you've been broken down. You get it? You've been holding the wrong perspective on life for too long, and you're gonna be just how you are, and that's just that. But if you enjoy the wisdom, and you haven't gotten lost, you know, in your ego, your competitive nature, things like this, and you've been receiving the wisdom, taking the jewels, Because that's all I give is jewels. Whatever people take from it, I don't know what's wrong with them. But if you've been receiving them jewels, and you know you haven't been giving back, it's time you start obliging to that. And you're going to have that any place you go, whether it's church, anywhere. They're going to expect you to, you get it, pay your tithes, pay a due. It's like if you're down with the bikers club, anything, they're going to expect you to pay your monthly dues, something. And so, get to handling that today. Stop letting it carry over and over. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cease teaching y'all. And that's not no threat. That's just a real reality. You can't be dishonorable in your way and stand on it and think you can receive of truth and things like that. I don't know how y'all think life work in your brain. But make sure you right in your way so you always receive from righteousness. Those of y'all that's lost on me, I ain't talking about myself. I don't want anything to do with a lot of y'all. But I'm just speaking afterwards in your journey. If you know your ways ain't truly right, you playing manipulation games to get your way, you gonna make righteousness flee away from you. Other than that, those of y'all that do give back regularly and fairly, you'll always get wisdom. You don't have to worry. I'm about to start a little section on my website for those that give back. You could just come in, and access the wisdom. You ain't gotta have no headache. And I'm gonna trust you to just, continue giving back like you've been doing. And that you ain't got to worry about no fees and all this extra shit. Cause like I said from jump, I just came to get the wisdom. Y'all can give back. Y'all be responsible for y'all own selves, and I'll be responsible in making sure I don't let nobody sell me out and tell y'all any old dumb thing. Y'all just be responsible for, paying y'all tithes and making sure I'm alright. And it's that simple. If you think that's not a real thing, a lot of people that teach, they already been, you get it? They already took payment to sell y'all out. Meaning they already been hushed on certain topics, and you get my point? And certain truths they ain't even gonna speak on. Whatever lies was already given to y'all, if they come into the truth of it, they just keep that truth to themselves. I know a lot of y'all know what I just said is a real thing. It ain't just something I'm saying. That's real. Meaning you really do have people that come into certain truths after they've been teaching, things that they thought were right. And you get my point? You know how many Christian pastors have heard my message on Christianity? That part, a lot of them. And they come to realize, damn, he right. That part. They keep that to themselves. They eating off their church, viewing it how they view it. In their mind, if I say something, they might stop following. More than likely, the church is going to follow the pastor no matter what he say. That's why, you get it? If you a leader or a teacher of a certain teaching, the people follow you when you be double talking and lying and shit. So why would you think if you just change your false teachings to a true teachings, they gonna abandon you? They dumbed out on you. That's why it's sad when you see teachers selling out the people that follow them, giving them lies and shit. But in any event, these are problems y'all have to worry about and care about for yourselves, not me. Like I said, my job is just to make sure I keep the wisdom pure, so y'all can get it how it's, intended to be received, with no extras on it and no overlooking things and undermining certain things. agenda free. He said, are drugs even bad if they stop the evil people from screaming? If a thing doesn't have a brain and a heartbeat, then you don't need to consider it as bad or good. The only thing that's bad or good is action. So if a thing is just sitting still minding its business, you don't need to put bad on it. You don't need to say poison ivy is bad. Poison ivy is minding itself. If a man decides he wants to go rubbing up on against poison ivy, that's his own bad decisions and bad actions and ignorance and understanding poison ivy. And that goes with any other thing in life, even a pistol. The pistol have no brain, no heartbeat. The pistol is a result of a bad person's actions, meaning whoever created the pistol was bad, and those that use pistols are bad. But to say a pistol is bad, it's absurd. Now, anything you see here on this earth, poison ivy included, it's a gift from God. When I say God, I'm speaking life. I'm speaking real God and a real understanding of God. And so anything you see here on earth, and it ain't man-made, it's a gift from God. It has a purpose and a good use for you. When you become balanced in your ways, you will grasp, its glory. Other than that, the only thing bad is man. And, the animals, and they need to get their shit together. And so hopefully many of you guys, kind of grasp that. Y'all look at certain foods as bad. Foods ain't bad. People abusing food is what's bad. A pig is not bad. You kill the pig and eat it. How the pig bad? Like that. You have to adjust the mindset to get to a place, you get it, where you're thinking like an actual human being and not an animal. Where you doing dirty, nasty things to things and then you deeming it as bad or evil. Again, y'all will kill a pig, eat it, and then be like, swine is not good. When you get to that point where you no longer looking at your own actions, because the pig ain't did shit to y'all. Last time I checked, pig tasted delicious. Oh my God, I got that poacher. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to let that slip out. Y'all know sometimes I get a little carried away. I don't. I don't want to hold you. I eat the whole damn pig if they let now. Some of y'all dying. You like, yeah, I'm gonna make me some pig today, my damn self. Sounds delicious. But nah, there's no animal meat, this thing or that thing that's bad for you. Abusing things is how life punishes you. So pork is not bad for you, but if you eat a lot of pork, so you're gonna be a little sick, and this is life way of showing you stop abusing things. You can have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich today. You don't have to have one this evening too, and tomorrow morning, and every day. A bacon, egg, and cheese is your breakfast. Like that, having moderation to say, you know what, today I'm going to eat me some fruit and nuts for breakfast. And I'm going to do that for 2 days and get back to my bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches because I love my bacon, egg, and cheese. You get it? Stop letting people steal your joys from you, your freedom, you eating what you want to eat, and you living how you want to live is all you got in this life. If you let somebody rob you of that, then you might as well cut your damn wrists. And so again, whatever you like to eat it. Learn moderation. You know when you're getting too greedy on a thing and you overdoing it. Don't do that. Other than that, if you have a certain diet that you have to follow, you are programmed. That falls into a program. I'm not sure why y'all don't get that. If I tell you what to eat and I didn't ask you anything about what you're allergic to, things of this nature that have to do with you being healthy, but I just jumped right into you need to eat this, that, and that, and I have no clue of who you are, what you're allergic to, what you're not, more than likely you're being programmed. Or you're a part of a program where everybody is programmed to think and do and be the same like a robot. And this is what y'all are calling wisdom. And wisdom is not that. Wisdom is not somebody putting you on a discipline plan. Wisdom is your evolving to a place where you're balanced and honorable enough, where you're disciplined on your own. You get it? It's not about somebody telling you to do this thing or that thing. Even if you do what they say, you still fail because the glory is you doing it on your own. If I got to grab you by the back of your neck and be like, do this and do that, you get it? It still hold no merit. Until you do it on your own, this is when you get it. You have achieved a certain control over self and discipline and maturity. And so this is the things that wisdom is. The mental growing and emotional growing, not keeping the same emotional state you had at 5 years old, where when you don't get your way, now you're bickering and crying, even though your way doesn't serve anybody, not even yourself. Asmonaut said it's the choices that follow. Those choices determine the good or bad. Hopefully most of you guys grasp the message. That's the main thing. And kind of adjust your ways. Actions is what matters, not anything else. So, like I said, if you enjoy this wisdom, it being a good thing for y'all, make sure you give back. Make sure you do it today if you know you haven't. Otherwise, I'm going to have to depart from dealing with y'all because y'all are going to become, my mental and emotional poverty. And it's not about that. You get my point? Meaning I always stay aware if y'all become too heavy on my mind and emotional state. Abandon mission. Tend to self. Keep your emotional state and your mind rich. And you get my point? It will reflect on your physical vessel. And so that's most important to me, my staying on the path, because that's what got me good. Nothing else. If you're learning a whole bunch of rules and do this thing and that thing, you're learning to be programmed. This is not what wisdom is. There's one rule in wisdom, and that one rule is be fair and honest in your ways. And that one rule takes care of everything. Meaning whatever you're doing, whatever perspective you have, if you put it on a scale, is this fair? Is it truthful? Or are there parts that I'm confused? And you get it? That part. Once you get balance and honor down packed, there's nothing you can be wrong on. There is no error that can come if you're balanced, which is fair in your ways, in your perspective, when you're dealing with people or whatever the situation may be. And if you're honest to yourself and others and not trying to manipulate, and you get it? If you can conquer your balance and honor, you follow? There's nothing you can be wrong on and lose your way or none of that. Whatever you do is just if it fall in the lines of that. If you say Solace isn't true because he smokes marijuana, does anything you said fall into a balance and honor thing? If you have a mind to say, okay, him smoking don't got nothing to do with balance and honor, it's just my perspective on smoking, then you get my point? Well, just the mind, grasp everybody in life ain't you. You probably do things I can frown on from my own personal perspective, but neither one of these things hold any merit. Only thing hold merit is if you fair and honorable in your ways and vice versa. Honorable being honest. And so if I lied to you about smoking marijuana, then you'd have a point. But if I didn't, then you get my point? Ain't much you could say. Your perspective is your own, but your lips is your own lips, and you get my point? Like I said, anyone can nitpick at anyone and find something that that they don't like that has nothing to do with them. But when you wash, you keep everything balanced and honorable. In that you don't lose your step away. This is why when y'all trying to make a point to me, y'all never do really. And at the same time, all your flaws and stupidities is being exposed, and you think like it's me doing it. I just keep my mind honest, and I just keep my perspective fair. Meaning I hear y'all point, and then I measure it to whatever I'm saying before I say it. And if you have a point, more than likely you ain't gonna hear me say anything. But once I measure what you said to what I know, and I'm like, that's completely stupid. It don't have nothing to do with fair and honest. Do you get it? And make it easy to show you the error in your way. And so again, that's all wisdom is showing one the errors in their ways. And in regards to the student, making adjustments to those errors. And so start there, perfect that before you jump into all the diets and other forms of programming. Because these ain't things you could stand on in regards to your mind being wise. You can't say because I do this diet and I do this thing or that thing, I'm wise. That have nothing to do with wise. Like that. Wisdom makes your programming. It don't hold no merit for you. You can't use it for nothing in regards to the self. And the self being wise. I know y'all have y'all impoverished perspective. So some of y'all may have a perspective where you say, I would never call myself wise. And this is the problem with life. Y'all think y'all here to be dumb, I guess. Because the last time I checked, you here to get wiser and wiser as you age in your years. And when you get to an age of about 40, 50, all adults in that age bracket should be able to stand on their wisdom. Yes, some will be wiser than others, but by that age, you should have had enough experience in life where you can pull wisdom and lessons from it. And so if you have a perspective, I would never call myself wise. You need to make that a new goal for yourself, because a lot of people dumb here. They say dumb shit all day that don't have nothing to do with growth. And so if you young, you don't need to rush to pretend like you wise. This is ego when you jump in the gun talking about you wise and you only in your 20s or 30s or something. Some of y'all may reach, meaning anything in life is possible. So I'm sure there's a hella wise 20-year-old somewhere. And he's an exception. You follow? But overall, it's not likely you're going to be wise at 20, 30. You get my point? But for those of y'all that's beyond those years, you should be able to say you're wise. And if your mind is, I would never call myself wise, you need to get your life and your perspective together. And if you feel like that's ego to say you wise, you gotta wait till other people say it. I don't know where y'all get this stupid thing y'all got offline, where y'all have all these manipulation games to get y'all way. Don't nobody have to wait for nobody to tell them anything concerning yourself. Hopefully a lot of y'all grasp that for yourself. You don't have to wait for nobody to tell you about a talent or a glory you have. They'd only know about it because of you. So how they telling you? How I need to wait till y'all tell me I'm wise and y'all wouldn't even know I had wisdom had I not let y'all see it? That part. And so again, if you young, nobody got to tell you nothing. You work at whatever talent you got, make sure you are the best at it, and you stand on that. If you not the best, it's okay. There's so much room between the best and the worst. As long as you keep yourself above the worst and not near it, you're good to go. You're not going to be the best at everything, but there's so many things in life. Everybody is the best at something. Now, of course, all y'all do is follow, so do you get my point? But if you put your mind in the perspective, if y'all was all unique in y'all ways and focused on self, everybody would be the best at something because everybody would be inventing their own things in regards to they self. In that, there's going to be a bunch of things that you do and created that nobody else did. Ain't nothing to compete about. You are the best at that. You're the creator of it. And so y'all need to adjust y'all minds. Y'all minds is on a poverty where y'all trying to make impoverished points. You're jealous because someone's way wiser than you. Now you're making ideals based on this envy. Ideals like I would never call myself wise and someone should never say they're wise. If you are wise, you need to say you're wise. Otherwise, how would people even know to come get wisdom from you? That's like saying, don't say you're a teacher. Then how would people know to seek wisdom from me? That part. Don't say you're wise, Solace. Then how would you know I'm worth learning from? That part. What you gonna say? I'll know you wise when I hear it? No, you know I'm wise before you even came. You didn't hear me and come to that conclusion. You heard wise attached to my name and that's what made you come. Call it presentation. Meaning y'all look at the cover of things and that determine if y'all go. That part. And so it wouldn't matter if I call myself wise or anything. When you get to a place of maturity, you grasp that's petty. That part. Once you get to that conclusion, this is petty, then you should be able to grasp, okay, that's not my real problem. Then a problem got to do with something with me. And I'm getting petty. So hopefully you guys can grasp these things. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can ask. If you haven't given back and you feel like I don't want to ask a question because I don't give back, you already here. So Being here and being stupid is not gonna make you look good to me. Meaning if you here in your dishonor, whatever, you here already, get whatever wisdom you could get, because that's what I came for. I don't play backsies games. If you don't give back, you can't get no wisdom. If you don't give back, you ain't got no fucking honor. And so you gonna be on a time scale with me. Cause I don't deal with low things but for so long. I understand teaching everybody ain't wise, everybody where they are emotionally and mentally. But don't think you got forever to be dishonorable with me and carry on like you got a problem with me. Other than that, you get it? Keep everything on the up and up. If something gonna clear up your mind and help you in your way and your understanding and you here, like I said, get your wisdom. And just make sure when you return, with your brain on the right accord. Make sure you got your tides with you. But if you already here, you get it? You don't never have to feel like, oh, he gonna chump me off because I don't never give back and now I'm competent. I'm one of good etiquette. And I'm big on respect. And so you gonna get disrespected if you disrespect me. Outside of that, you being dishonorable is not an excuse for me to disrespect you. I can ignore you, not deal with you, but if you ain't disrespecting me, it's not my place to disrespect you. Meaning I live by a certain code of ethics. You sell drugs and you shoot people. I can't disrespect you just because I don't agree with your lifestyle, unless you disrespect me. And so hopefully y'all start living in that way if you follow me. There's a certain code of ethics. A lot of y'all are lost into the Charleston White thing. Charleston White is teaching y'all horrible moral ethics, and he not doing it on purpose. Meaning I don't have no problem with Charleston White. Anything I say in regards to somebody, it got to do with growth, not tearing them down. And definitely not going into a person who I wouldn't care about that. But Charleston White, he's messing up a lot of the young people's perspective on what's honorable and what ain't. You don't go around bothering people, disrespecting them, and then if they put hands on you or do something to you, now you call the cops on them. I see him promoting that a lot, or he does that a lot, and it gives the younger generation the perspective that that's cool. Like, if I'm a civilian, I can go around bothering people who are not, or that I think is dishonorable, and whatever they do, I'll just call the cops. That's not an honorable way to live. That's not how you conduct yourself as a man. I don't care if you a street nigga selling dope or you somebody that work in a workplace. You a man that work in a workplace. And a dude at your job, he keep leaning on you, and you already told him, leave me alone. But he think he tough, so he keep leaning on you. Y'all at work. You done told him, blood, we at work. Stop. Somehow he convinced yourself he tough and you ass. So you put hands on him. You expecting him to go call the cops on you now? Wouldn't you as a working man be like, damn, you a sucker, man? You was bothering me, and now you calling the cops on me. That part. It don't matter what walk of life you come from. Sucker behavior is sucker behavior. A man is a man. You don't go around bothering people, and then when they bother you back, you're crying and telling the cops and weird shit. It don't go like that. A lot of y'all need to learn these things. You conduct yourself with a certain etiquette. If you feel a need to tell somebody something, or you disagree with their lifestyle, always remember that's not your place. If you gonna speak openly and whoever wanna jump in the shoes, that's one thing. But to direct yourself at a specific person, you getting lost in your ego, because you get it? You can't tell nobody how to live. All you can do is live right and align yourself with those that, you get it, moving like you are. But once you do things like that, you're out of line. Meaning in the laws of life, some of y'all good people, but the way y'all carry it in today times, I wouldn't be able to, you get it, back you up. I like Charleston White, but I wouldn't be able to back him up. Meaning me and his message ain't that different in regards to gangs and all of that. But the way we deliver it is different. You get it? And that I can't really back him up if a gang member be like, I'm gonna put hands on him. Because I'm that type of person to be like, nah, his message like mine, so you better put hands on me too. You can't be biased. Some of y'all might get lost. I'm really like that. Meaning if me and you got the same message and I see niggas leaning on you, but they let me just rock, do that to me first. If you get it, if you feel that way so much, otherwise leave him be. Me and him work for the same laws in life. Blood just fall back. But I couldn't do that with him because he's bothering people. You get it? You trolling people, you creating problems. Half the gang members ain't doing nothing, and you get my point? Another thing y'all have to learn, exposing people. Meaning if somebody got negative deeds about themselves, but they keep it hidden or whatever the case may be. I don't know how that works, but if a person don't put their own mess out there, you putting someone mess out there, this is disrespectful, is tacky, and it has nothing to do with honor. Are you being in the truth? Truth have to do with experiences, certain scenarios, yourself. Truth don't have to do with you kicking the bathroom door open talking about, look, this person is taking a shit. I'm using that as an example. If they got the door closed, you kicking open the door trying to say they taking a shit, this is just you being disrespectful and you trying to embarrass them. You're not trying to expose no truth. You don't care about truth. You got a whole nother agenda. And so I'm just giving y'all these examples so y'all can apply them. Y'all getting lost in the daytimes, y'all calling honor things that have nothing to do with honor. And so anybody that's been exposed, if you didn't put the mess out there your own self, you don't need to feel no kind of way. You get my point? And everybody, can grow. Everybody can have their mistakes in life. If you've grown past whatever low moments you had, I wouldn't get too lost on people trying to pull you back to it or trying to make you believe that, you get it? You whatever they pumping. Everybody, all y'all that's young, y'all gonna have y'all low moments. And hopefully y'all overcome them. And when you do, you'll realize, yeah, it's not about pulling people back and trying to do all that dumb shit. Everybody gonna have it. You get my point? And so the only lies and things you need to expose is ideals, principles, teachings, not people. Because people don't have nothing to do with you. And I'm not saying that in the defense of myself. There's nothing with me to expose. I'm straightforward, so if you want to know something about me, you just gotta ask. I ain't got nothing on my mind. You get it? Like that. And I don't talk about myself much. I know y'all like to push that narrative, but I just keep everything with the wisdom for the most part. And so I'm gonna be departing shortly. I'm getting a little chilly. It's my lunchtime. And I have to do some work on my website. If you a price and plan purchaser, I'm about to put some deep wisdom up there for y'all. New sperm is the spirit wisdom. Now I'll give you all a jewel before I depart. Hopefully y'all be better in y'all ways moving forward. Those of y'all that, continuously carry on, I'ma just block you moving forward. So hopefully you've been following long enough where you're mature enough to be balanced and fair on your own. Or balanced and honorable on your own. That's fair and honest. Otherwise, if your comment is imbalanced, negative, or anything like that, I'ma just block you off and leave it like that. That's not to say you can't speak, comment, know how to talk without being an asshole. Do that. Now, the jewel. Of course, we all went through COVID-19 times, and a lot of y'all have acquired a lazy spirit because of COVID. A lot of people wasn't working. A lot of people had a lot of time off in that. You get my point? A lot of y'all been kicking back in the house, building up a thing called laziness. And then, of course, because of the fears of the time and all these other things, you have a mindset where you may say, I don't want to do this or that. And this helps to build up laziness. Meaning laziness is obliging to, I don't feel like it. And we all get that thought. Maybe you gotta use the bathroom. You say, I don't even feel like getting up, man. Every time you oblige to that thought, which is a feeling, you increase your laziness by a measure. And it'll start with the small things, of course. You overlooking small things you don't feel like doing, you blow them off. I don't feel like doing that right now, man. And this will evolve into you having that same perspective, or you're obliging to the feeling, I don't feel like it. Meaning you will become accustomed to obliging to the feeling. Almost like a natural occurrence. When you get the feeling or the thought, you naturally just shut down and don't do it. So you say, man, I gotta go across town to take care of some business, but I don't feel like it. Then you wind up not going. Like that. The more you oblige to the I don't feel like it will grow until it becomes the big things in your life. Until it becomes everything in your life. Meaning, if you're young, you have people my age and older who have obliged to I don't feel like it, not knowing what it leads to, and they're now my age and they don't do anything. And this is real. They just sit in one spot and they drink or smoke and they don't even feel like going to the bathroom. If they get hungry, they don't even feel like going to the store. They become miserable to that point in life. And I'm not saying that's a good thing, that's a horrible thing. You want to catch things like that before you get there. And any of y'all going through that right now, don't take this as a stepping on your back. I feel for you. This is why I'm about to help you with the juice to get out of that. But I'm just giving y'all a perspective of what I'm saying. If you somebody that, hit the rock bottoms of that, or you're young and you notice that you do kind of sometimes oblige to the I don't feel like it. You get that thought of feeling and it's easy for you to just be like, I ain't doing it. You better stop doing that because it's going to increase and evolve into a great stagnance. And it's going to be like pulling teeth just to get your ass to go out to the store. It's going to be a whole headache just to get you to go out and have fun. Now, how you get rid of laziness? Every time you get the feeling I don't feel like it, you have to do against the act. You have to do against the feeling. Meaning, whenever you get the feeling I don't feel like doing this or that, do it anyway. In that moment, just get up and do it. And you start with the small things. Meaning, you have small things like I don't feel like getting up and making this sandwich. I'm hungry. Start with the small things. And every time you get the thought of feeling I don't feel like it, do it. You don't have to jump and do it with the big things. There's big things you've been neglecting and you still get the feeling right now I don't feel like doing it. Don't worry about those things. Just focus on the small little things that you can do. You just don't feel like it. And so when you get the feeling I don't feel like doing it for the small things, do it anyway. Right in that moment, just do it. That will help to remove I don't feel like it from the mind. Meaning, your thoughts and actions have to match. If you have a reoccurring thought in your mind, I don't feel like doing it, but you keep doing the opposite of what the reoccurring thought is saying, the thought will adjust to the action. The same way your actions over time adjusted to the thought. It's a battle between you and yourself, meaning your greater self and your lesser self. And you're in the balance. And your lesser self is trying to pull you low, and your greater self is trying to make you greater. And so you get my point? You got to pick which one you gonna compliment and assist. And so when you get those thoughts, I don't feel like doing something, just do it. Start with the small things. By the time you get to the big things, you should have already rid it. I don't feel like it's out of your mind, meaning it won't even pop up in your mind anymore. You got to do some big thing and you just be ready to do it because you're so accustomed to any time there's something you have to do, you just do it. Meaning you doing them little things every time you didn't feel like it. It just accustomed you to naturally every time something comes up that needs to be done, you just do it. You don't even think like, oh, that's really big and I don't feel like it. You just do it like that. You have to remove it from your mind, meaning the laziness is that phrase and feeling. I don't feel like it. That is laziness itself. And over time, it conquers us. You have to act against it. And so if you come to notice you suffering from a little laziness and you feel like you're letting yourself go, just reach out to Big Usier. That way every morning you can get the confirmations you need. Learn some little, breathings and stretchings. And within 30 days or so, you should have your perspective, together. You should have ridded yourself of many mental poverties that's bringing you down. I don't feel like it being one of the main ones. And so, like I said, you start with the small things, and by the time it comes to the big task, you won't have any laziness in you to get in your way. And it's the same way you've become lazy. It started with the little things, meaning you didn't feel like doing small things, and so you obliged. And over time, it increased to the large things, the things that you really need to do. You started becoming lazy towards them things, like, I don't feel like it. But it started with the small things. And so the way to get yourself out is the same way you got yourself in reverse. You start with the small things. Every time you get a thought, I don't feel like it, and it's a small thing, do it. Act against that feeling and thought, and after about a month or so, you probably won't even get those thoughts anymore in regards to anything you need to do. And you just keep yourself on that path, and you keep yourself around people, you get it? It's not going to bring you down into a low place, because this is where all your flaws lie. When you down in your lower self, all your flaws is there. Now I have to depart. Y'all enjoy y'all afternoon. Big Usier.